All right, welcome back. It's January 29th. This is Sports Buds TV. My name is Serge, and I've got the co host today, JKZ. What's up, bro?
What up, man? Great to be back.
Welcome back, Brody. Welcome back. It's been a minute, but you back like you never left.
I try, my guy.
Nah, we appreciate it, Brody. And what a better day to be back on a Monday after a big sports weekend. Before we started the weekend on our last show, we previewed what would everything going on. So let's just kind of give everyone a preview of what we'll be talking about today. We'll talk about the latest after the WWE Royal Rumble. Then we'll get into some boxing updates after the Munguia fight versus John Ryder, and some news that dropped earlier with everyone's favorite champion in boxing, Canelo Alvarez. But we'll get into that, and then we'll wrap things up with a big championship Sunday that we had just yesterday, and we'll discuss who's what happened, and of course who's going to the Super Bowl. So that and more here on Sports Buds TV. Let's go ahead and kick it off here with the Royal Rumble. What'd you think, bud? So it was a good one this year.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Really good, actually. Probably one of my favorite Royal Rumbles in the last couple of years. I am really high on it.
Nice.
I think it did really, really, really well, man. Really enjoyed it.
Dude,
Um,
wow. No, I agree. I definitely believe it was an entertaining one. I have some thoughts, but overall it was entertaining, and I'm not mad about it. Um, there was a few things we had. It was what a total of four matches if we're counting.
yeah, four
The
matches,
U.S.
man.
match
Yeah,
for the U.S. title, the Fatal Four Way, right, for the Universal title, and then we had the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches.
and I think that's the perfect number of things
Yeah,
for a Royal Rumble. Sometimes the Royal Rumble is a little too saturated. I know I want to get into the Royal Rumble right now, but just as a whole, looking at it, I've actually gone to two Royal Rumbles live, and they are exhausting. They are long.
right,
There's
right.
so much going on, and this one it just felt a little bit more compact. Kudos for WWE for doing that and making it like that. It made it way more enjoyable as a fan, and I'm sure all the fans can agree with that.
Yeah, no doubt. I think I mean, I wouldn't have been mad about an additional match, but you're right. You don't want to overdo it, especially if you're in person. You want to keep the audience in person in mind, and give it an entertaining product as well, right, to the people at home. Let's see.
Exactly, and you know what? The show well done, and it started out really good stuff. It started with the Women's Royal Rumble, and man, it might have been the best Women's Royal Rumble of all time. I mean, maybe that's a
Yeah.
little crazy to say, but I know it's not been the longest history, but I'm going to say this was the greatest Women's Royal Rumble in WWE history. So yeah, that's how high I am on it and stuff. What was your initial thoughts on it?
Dude, I'm definitely with you. If I'm being honest, I feel like they stole the show. Um, when you think about a show, especially in wrestling, that you open up a show and you usually a good spot to be is right the main event. You want to do that, but if not, then you want to open the show.
A lot of
And
pressure. Both
right,
sides have a lot of pressure.
yep. I also want to give props to the women opening the show. Right, I think they did a fantastic job. The returns that I saw, the Naomi return was amazing. We saw Liv come back. That was awesome. Of
Yeah,
course, right, Jordan Grace making her coming, yeah, at TNA champion coming to compete in the Royal. Bro, it was a definitely one for the books. Definitely one you're gonna. But when you look at again the layout of those matches, props to Roman Reigns and the Fatal Four Way. Everybody involved. Uh, they definitely had to. The women having put up such a great performance, they got to step up now, and that can be a letdown in some cases. That was not the case. I thought that was entertaining, but yeah, overall, the women put on a performance that it's one for the books, man. We're gonna definitely look back on this one and think that definitely shifted the way we thought about the Royal Rumble and what to expect when it comes to both Royal Rumble events.
exactly, exactly. Raising the bar and stuff like that, and just you know, kudos to the women for stepping up and, showing that they could put on the, match of the night, Rumble of the year, like just really top tier stuff. But yeah, expectations are going to be through the roof next year. I believe that. But yeah, you mentioned a couple of the returns and of course when you have the current TNA Knockouts champion, in your Rumble, book strong, by the way. I mean, she got eliminated by
Yeah.
Bianca Belair with the KOD on the outside on
Right.
the hardest part of the ring. Like she definitely showed out there. I know you said Naomi. Naomi coming back is awesome. I'm really glad that she's back. She can just work in WWE, and I think under the new regime, I think she's really gonna have a nice spot there. I think it's really good for her. Liv, happy that Liv came back. You hit there. Like, I'm really happy. I'm always a big fan of hers and stuff. But I mean, if we're speaking, debuts and returns, and it gotta be Jade Cargill,
Yes,
dog.
sir.
WWE, kudos for you. You have
What a steal.
you have done amazing with her. You have booked her perfectly. She showed up, doesn't do really anything, but just so everybody on TV sees her face, goes away, comes here, huge pop. I know it was early in the show, but probably the best pop of the night and stuff, which I'm happy for her, being an AEW fan. I'm happy for her and her success, and I'm glad WWE is taking care of her. And yeah, she looked great. She came in there the first time she picked up Naomi, like, ooh, I mean not Naomi, Nia Jax. My apologies.
Dude, yeah. Nia.
Like just like
Nia. Wow.
effortlessly, like I was just like, dude, she like looks the part. You know what she looks like to me? Serge,
Yeah.
she looks like how you look at old pictures of Hogan in the '80s and stuff. Like
Gotcha. Gotcha.
massive, like
Yeah.
her presence, that energy. She can be that. She can be
Larger than
the
life.
woman in professional wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how
No
WWE
doubt.
booked. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying she will be, but I'm saying that WWE booked her like that.
Dude, and I'll
Congratulations.
say
I was gonna
this.
take all the time I could to mention it because that's
Yeah.
how good her and WWE are doing.
Dude, and I'll say this. When I think of WWE, yeah, you have all types of superstars and performers, wrestlers, and that's awesome. But you also have what's referred to as the land of the giants. She fits perfectly, dude. Like, she's a superstar. She's a WWE superstar, dude. And yeah, AEW's awesome and they do their thing. She looks like she belongs. And that's awesome, dude. That's really awesome.
Yeah, future is definitely bright. It could go anywhere with her, so that's awesome there. And of course, won by Bailey.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah, we gotta talk
definitely
about the
great.
winner.
Yeah, definitely great storyline there
So
and
this is
stuff.
a baby face turn. What do you think's gonna? I don't want to, get too off topic, but I mean, it's worth. She won the damn thing. So what happens? Who does she challenge? Does she challenge? She was wearing the shirt, wasn't she? The mommy shirt afterwards. I
Yeah,
don't know if you saw that.
yeah. I mean, I think she, that's what
Or
it's
does she
supposed to
go for
be.
her stablemate, dude?
Like, I think she'll play the part right now, like of, that was the plan. I know, like, watching SmackDown, that the plan was, she wins, and she's gonna get more gold for damage control. She's gonna go after the women's heavyweight championship. But you know, I think just the idea of a match with her and Ito, I think that's just gonna be that could be. I see that and I go, that's possibly match of the night for WrestleMania this year. Like,
Damn.
it could be special. These two chicks are like, these two women. I'm sorry, are two of the best
Yeah.
female wrestlers in the
Oh,
world.
dude,
Like,
I am such a huge
and
fan
it'll
of
be a great
Io.
story of the like of
Right.
damage
Right. Yeah.
control,
Yeah.
'cause that's been going on since Kyrie Sane came back.
Mm-hmm.
That they've been putting that like whole thing, that is she on the outside? Is
Right.
she really
Right.
part in? Like, how secure is her like
Exactly.
seat? But you know that story is going to be definitely interesting to follow, and I'm looking forward to that. So I'm gonna say I hope it does go that way, and we get Ito versus Bailey at WrestleMania.
For sure. For sure. So, I mean, What a way to start the whole Royal Rumble, right? We just kind of, I feel like we went back and forth from one way to another, and that's just the opening match, dude.
Yep.
So then,
That's how you wanted it to be.
yeah, for sure. Now, what did you think about the Fatal 4-Way match? We move on, right? We have the Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, LA Knight. They come in, they enter the ring afterwards, and they go at it, man, to see who's going to be the Universal Championship. And this is pivotal. This is basically, you're probably going to be the champion going into WrestleMania, unless something happens.
Exactly. I mean, they had really good booking. It really felt like everybody was a big deal in that match, and that was before the match started. You know, all the build up to it. I get how
Right.
some people might have thought it felt a little filler. Oh, Roman's just gonna win and all this stuff. I get that, you know, and so it sometimes takes away from it. You know, you want the suspense, you want the unknown in a wrestling match, you know, in any
Right.
form of entertainment. But that being said, they went in there. The crowd was great for all their entrances. Ridiculous amount of entrances. But
Yeah.
anyways, everybody was hyped. Everybody felt like they belonged. Everybody felt like a big deal during that match. And it also went well scripted. My attitude changed totally when the match started. Like it just felt the way they were doing stuff when they all attacked Roman. It made
Right.
sense, you know,
Yeah.
okay, like I know we're all gonna fight each other, but we're gonna kick his ass first, you know? And
Yeah.
yeah, like
Like he
it's
owed each
beautiful.
of them. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everybody looked great in that match. Everybody looked strong in that match. I heard some people complaining about Solo getting involved in the match, and I was like, have you never watched WWE for the last 2 years? You do understand how the bloodline works, right?
Right.
You do know there's gonna be multiple shenanigans. There's not a Roman Reigns match without some shenanigans.
You do
You know?
understand that if there's a problem that Roman Reigns has, he has a problem solver for that. Dude, like, come on.
And and I want to say something to you because I
Yeah.
feel like, you know, I've been watching wrestling for a while now, and like you
Yeah.
understand how it goes. The Roman Reigns as a character, these last few years is probably the greatest performance a wrestler has ever given. Look at his character a year ago and look at it now. How much
Yeah.
it's changed, but at the same time, he's still this dominant champion, but he's a different character. I know the end's coming, but kudos to him. He has looked amazing. And in this one, he looks vulnerable, but he's still a a grizzly bear. You know, even if get a grizzly bear in a
Yeah.
vulnerable spot, you know, maybe it just makes him more dangerous. You know, who knows? You know,
No, you're
but
right, dude.
Roman
And
feels like it, but he's still Roman Reigns. He's still
yeah.
dominant. You know, he's still doing like a great match. I think overall, even if I knew, I feel like I knew, not that I actually did, but I felt I knew that Roman would win. But the match was extremely entertaining. I enjoyed it. Everybody looked good. Shout out to Randy Orton, looked amazing, giving 3 amazing RKOs.
Yep.
Full back, I'm glad to see he's able to do that physically. Even if he just wrestles once in a while, you know, going forward, I hope he keeps doing it for a little bit longer because he looked amazing still. Everybody,
No,
LA
yeah.
Knight's still hugely over with the crowd. I don't know where this talk of, oh, he's already over his run, or his popularity. Hell no. Like it was crazy. Like he still gets all the love in the world. Like if they would have put the title on him last night, the crowd would have exploded in shock and stuff. The internet would have lost it. Like that's how big it would have been. Like he's still over. Kudos for him for getting himself there and just running with it. All
No, for
four
sure,
guys
dude.
great. And
And
Roman, of
LA
course,
Knight,
still champion.
dude, it's hard because it seems like sometimes the company's behind them, sometimes it seems like they're not. But I mean, there's no bigger stamp of endorsement than a company, the advertisement, right?
Hmm.
Sponsors. And Slim Jim, we know about the situation that happened last week, and all the, they were gone. They were done with WWE. Hold on, I hear a siren. It looks like there's an ambulance back there. All right,
Hey,
just pass by.
that's how Slim Jim's partnership in WWE was
Yeah,
on last week,
that's
a couple days
exactly
ago.
it, dude. So they were done, and you know the news with Vince, he resigns, he leaves, and they must have been able to patch things up, and they're back in. I bring it up because Slim Jim, LA Knight, Bianca Belair, they're huge, and then they do their commercials, their ads. They even put in a Macho Man, dude. So I feel like they have invested in him. Now, the title on LA Knight, that breaks the internet, I think. But for one reason or another, it's not. I don't know, man. Maybe there's other plans at WrestleMania. We got to remember. We look at Orton. You brought up his 3 RKOs, where it looked like at one point he was gonna win it, dude, because he's that good, and you believe with his finisher he can win any match. And speaking of with his finisher, AJ Styles puts fucking Roman Reigns. My bad, I had to use the word, dude. He puts him in his freaking gets him ready. And, dude, I didn't think Roman was gonna take it, dude. The Styles clash. But
he never hits it. There was no way. I thought it was 1,000%. There's no way he's hitting this. He's okay. Roman's gonna counter.
He's not taking it.
He's hooking the leg arm. What? This is gonna be a crazy counter. And then I lost it when he hit it. Like, I lost it. I loved it. Styles
dude, me too. And I'm like, fuck yeah for Styles. And I'm like, Roman, thank you, dude, for fucking doing the right thing, right? And for a second there, you think, all right, it's his. I forget, was it LA that broke it up, or was it I forget, but it's right there, dude. And you think AJ's about to run away with the title, dude.
Yeah, I think Randy might have done it, broken it up.
It's hard enough when it's just 2 people in that ring, but when you've got 4, man, to tell that story, it's a lot of bodies, and it's hard. But I felt like overall, they did a good job of it. It wasn't an easy spot, but it worked. And like you said, I actually predicted on our last show on Friday night that Roman was going to win it. I'm not going to take any credit because I predicted that The Rock was going to win the Men's Royal Rumble, come in at 30 or some shit, and we were going to get, that big main event because he was the head of the table. Well, if it's going to happen, I feel like the way they did it is the best way that it was going to happen as far as the Fatal 4-Way.
Exactly. I agree. I think they did a great job on that, and you can tell, like, right away by the first 2 matches how, like, why I feel the way I feel about this Royal Rumble pay-per-view as a whole, or premium live event as a whole. Because, like, 2 fantastic, like, the way they started, great. Like I said, the Fatal 4 was super entertaining. The outcome was what I thought it would be, but the journey to that outcome was fantastic.
Yeah, dude. And one last thing before we move on, you mentioned what Roman has done these last few years, and to be honest, I didn't think I'd ever see someone hold the title that long. I mean, we're talking what, Hogan in like the 80s. We're talking about like Bob Backlund, right? Back in like yesteryear. So it's not something you see often, especially in this era where we want different things. So Netflix, we want it now. We want to change. And Roman has somehow or another been able to still hold on to that and be relevant. He comes out and people acknowledge him still. They're not over here like, oh, I'm tired of it. It still fucking sells. It's the best thing going. So, kudos to that man. And not just being somebody that wants to squash people, because I feel like in that match, he's willing to definitely like, okay, you give yours and then I'm going to take mine. But it has to be give and take so that you're interested in what you're watching.
Yes. And I would say, like, just like what you said right there, like he did his part in that match to put everybody over too. Like, and he's still that dominant guy, but he definitely like showed that, like, if certain things didn't, he survived that match. He didn't, like, he won, but he survived. That's the big thing he did there. If one of the things goes differently, he loses that match. He sold that really well. And that's just to him to be one of the great. WWE's resurgence from where they were at to where they are now.
Yeah.
The next tier step was he was the face of the company. He was the top guy. He was the main storyline. It ran through him, and he has to get some credit for that. And he has to get that of, like, acknowledgement of, while this resurgence was happening, he was the face. It was all running through him, and WWE was at its most popular. Like, it was coming back. It was rising the hardest against actual competition. AEW was coming for them. There was a time where it was getting close. Raw ratings were under 2 million, and and Dynamite ratings were over 1 million. The gap was getting kind of close, and WWE separated, and Roman Reigns was at the head of it. So he deserves his all the kudos, and he deserves all the applaud for that. Great when the
No,
if
well
there's
said,
this
dude.
if there's an ending to the story coming, he definitely played a role in that hugely. Like, WWE is where it's at because of him. So, kudos to
Yeah,
him again.
dude. Yeah, and for someone that, because he got dirt on his name a lot, dude, a lot. And we're talking about before the run where it's not his time. He's main evented how many in a row WrestleManias, and people don't really see it as like, oh wow, he's put in a body of work. It's more like, this again. But he's like, instead of turning away and being done with it, he's turned himself into what he is now, dude. The head of the table, definitely carries his weight, and he has the whole everyone beside him, dude, backing him up, but he still has to carry it, dude, and he's been able to carry that well. So kudos to Roman Reigns, and we'll see what happens. Like you said, it's well, we might as well get into it before we get into that men's Royal Rumble, because that's kind of where this all leads to that main event of WrestleMania.
You need to take a breath right after that. That's like I said, there's a lot. Before we get into that thing, let's talk about the U.S. title.
Your thoughts on that? And I mean, Logan, I'm not the biggest fan of the guy. Now, as a performer in there, he's definitely got some talent, and that's cool. I'm not mad about the ending. I'm like, when do you see a ref looking at somebody's knuckles, dude? Like, I'm like, dude, you never see that. But I guess he should have fucking tucked them away. But what do you think?
That was great. I think that was a perfect way to do it. I think that kind of matched how it was, everything. It was solid. It wasn't going to wow me. It wasn't while I was watching the pay-per-view, the Rumble. But it did enough to be entertaining. It was real. It was realistic story-wise. Everything kind of worked out. There was a little timing issue at one part of it, but you know what? Honestly, like, that match was there to be that match. Logan Paul has a huge following. I'm not gonna pretend like, like he's irrelevant. Like, he has a huge following. He brings a lot to the table, and but I respect him for his in-ring work, the work he's putting in to this. I mean, good for him. I'm really proud of him, and I hope he has continued success in this. And I think it was a great way to end the match. It makes Kevin Owens, lose, but it makes it look realistic. It doesn't hurt him.
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt Paul. It all kind of just keeps going.
And I think that's what I was worried about. If they just had Paul go in there and beat him clean 1, 2, 3, I'm like, that's BS. Don't give me that. The way it went about, at least I'm like not mad about it. So I'm like, okay, I can sleep well and know that it wasn't some BS he tried to sell me.
Yeah, like Kevin Owens shot himself in the foot. Like, it was him, his, anger, his thing like that. He had that match, and he just decided he was going to do that, and he got caught. Like, it was great. It shows Kevin Owens is the better wrestler, which he is, both story-wise and in real life.
And then he even got some comeuppance right after, right? So it's like, all right, cool. Like, he's still KO, right?
To put him to a table, And I mean, you see the pictures of Logan Paul, like he got some bruises, some cuts and stuff, like some real life stuff.
There you go. This ain't boxing, champ. No, I'm just kidding.
But good for him.
Yeah, dude. So good stuff overall. Shout out to Paul. Shout out to KO, dude, doing the damn thing. But the time has come, dude. The men's Royal Rumble.
I cannot stress how hyped I was for this.
Yeah.
I want everything to be known going forward. What I'm about to say, I was really hyped for this Royal Rumble.
Nice.
Okay. So expectations were already to like the max.
Right.
To start this out. And I'm going to be honest, I have not been following like hard. I am aware, I see videos, I see clips. I'm on, on social media. I see a lot of stuff of Jey Uso. main
Right.
event Jay, and I got right away, so right away I see this guy come out, and I've heard the entrance, I've seen it all, I've seen him, I've seen the clips, but it hit so much. I am a main event Jay fan now, like
Yeah.
hardcore. Like I've always been pro Bloodline, so much to the point that like when Jay Uso did what he did,
Right.
I kind of forgot about him. Like I watched this stuff, yeah, but I didn't really care. I'm like, oh, he's cool. I don't hate him, but I'm not really messing with him. Man, that dude is a star. That dude is a star.
Yeah.
Awesome. The theme just hit so good. Everything. I just gotta shout that out right away. Started out banger
Hell
like
yeah.
there, and then you put it with Jimmy right away. Oh, that was great, man. That was fantastic. I swear to God, guys, I'm not gonna go through every step. This was just a big thing for me. Like the
No,
Usos
yeah.
1 and 2 was one of my top three, maybe definitely top five, probably top three moments though of the men's Royal Rumble. Like, and then Jimmy, looking, he looks just like psychotic. Like he is
Right.
that guy. Like this life has torn him apart. He has been destroyed by the bloodline. Like his soul, his mind is
Yeah.
warped. Like that's what he's portraying, and he's portraying it perfectly. It's so good because you could see Jay, who's healthy now. He's away from all of it, and look how he looks, how he's doing. Like it is
Yeah.
such an amazing
It's
thing
really
these
good
two
stuff.
guys are doing, and for this art, this performance, it's
Yep.
so beautiful, and it felt like that. They're twin brothers, but they could not look more different.
Worlds
They look
apart. Yep.
Yes, and it's so beautiful. Like that is storytelling. That is entertain. That's everything you'd want. If that was a movie script in Hollywood, people would be winning Oscars. It's beautiful, beautiful.
No doubt, dude. No doubt. I agree with you. And another part that I enjoyed, just because you bring up the brothers there, was the third guy Waller.
Yeah, Grayson Waller.
So when he comes in and they're beating up, right, and and he kind of shows his alliance, he like acknowledge, no ye, dude.
Yeah,
Dude,
no,
I was rolling, and he's like, I acknowledge, no
yes.
ye,
Right
dude.
now, you said something about Roman like getting acknowledged, and we were talking about that, and I was like, somebody recently just acknowledged and stuff, and that's exactly
In
what it
the
was.
Rumble match,
Yeah.
dude, I acknowledge, no ye. They start
The
beating
crowd doing it, they should have chopped and like exchanged blows a little bit more with the Jimmy and
yeah,
Jay when they were going gi for Jay and then
right, right,
going no for Jimmy. Like it was great. Like yeah, but
dude.
yeah, Grayson Waller, yeah, no ye, yeah.
So that was awesome. And you know what? I've done a bit of a disservice here. I need to put up some of the images we had from, Bailey winning, of course, Roman winning. But, let's get to it, dude. Man of the hour. But, dude, I've always said, because you and we've watched wrestling for quite a few years now, and you always get it's not real stuff. But we don't watch for it to be real, dude. We watch for the entertainment, the storylines. At
Hmm.
least I believe that's what we do, right? So there's only so many times I can see somebody in a headlock and be like, "Oh, this is so cool," So I need to be invested with the storyline. And dude, Punk dropping the line he dropped, dude, man, how you're not eating out of the palm of his hands in that moment as a fan. What did you think? I know we're going from the very start now to the very end, but dude, I just that was insane, man.
So yeah, I might be in a minority here, but I thought, like Punk was an extreme disappointment.
Really?
I
Okay,
thought
okay.
he looked old, he looked tired. He looked like he didn't belong in that ring with some of the guys that were in there. And this is nothing to do with my
Be
feelings for
honest.
him.
Be
This is
honest. Be
this
honest,
has
because I know where you're
nothing
going.
to do with him being a cancer to the pro wrestling as a whole, as
No, no,
him
no, no,
being
no, no. Say
a
what you really want to
selfish,
say. Say what you really want to say.
manipulative. I'm just saying, all that aside, he did still look really old and stuff. Can he be entertaining on the mic? Can he
Right.
cut a promo still? I don't have zero doubt that he can do that still. But in the ring, you know, I saw something. I have not looked into it because I really don't care to look into it, but saying that he might be hurt, and I'm like, no
Okay.
shock there.
Right. Right.
Um, he he just didn't look up to par for what was in the ring with him at the moment, with the guys he was in there with Drew McIntyre, Gunther, Cody Rhodes. Like,
Right. Yeah. No,
I'm
I
not even
get you. I
talking about
get
his
you.
legacy here. I'm just saying, like, he looked like an aging star still holding
Okay.
on
And
to me.
you
But the
definitely
right
may have a point.
the right thing happened. And that's why when people were saying, "Oh, CM Punk's going to win it," there was a large amount of people that said CM Punk was going to win, and I was like, "What are you guys talking about? This is going to be Cody's. This is Cody's thing. He's going to
Yeah.
get back to back." I thought Cody was going to come in at number 1 and win it all, but 15 and win. Like, Cody was winning this Royal Rumble. I felt, and I mean, I'll be this. I wasn't going to bet money on it
Yeah.
because. But I believe that in my heart. I mean, it could have gone any way. I didn't think CM Punk though was winning it. But yeah, CM Punk, Cody did the right thing and eliminated his ass and stuff. I'll say this: CM Punk did a good job, at least like making the Cody stuff look good, also though. But this was more about Cody than Punk. Like, I think this has always been more about Cody and Punk than Punk. But
Well, let's just unpack with you what you just said, because you mentioned Gunther. You're talking about Cody. You're talking about workhorses for the WWE in the last at least year or two, right?
mhm,
So when we look at Punk, we know what's gone on with him, and his from one company to the next, right? If we're going to be honest. So just with that alone, he's probably not going to be in the same condition, shape that I would think someone that's, you know, performing week in and week out. Take that for what it is. Now, you have a point. He definitely looked like I'll say he lost a step. About the shape, I'm not in the best shape. But yeah, I mean, he's not the Punk from 10 years ago. I mean, nobody is, right? I mean, you're looking really good. So maybe you're an anomaly. But when I look at just that very ending, dude, and the line he drops, where I didn't wait 10 years to lose to Dusty's kid, right? Or what?
yeah,
I believe that's what it was. Dude, he says it. He still commands that state. It ain't easy to get in front of, what was it, 48,000, for over 40,000 people,
yeah,
dude.
48. I think something. I think that's
Dude,
what I said.
it's not easy. And that fool, in that, as far as that goes, I don't feel like he lost a step as far as controlling a crowd, and not only just the crowd, but he is so good at also the camera work, dude, for the people at home. That all together isn't easy, and I hope that the young talent is behind Gorilla or wherever they watch the matches and really like, oh, okay, he's really not doing a move there. He's not hitting. You know what I mean? It's more of like, I'm looking at the. I didn't, dude. That was these young performers, men and women. I feel like they can learn from that. Now, as far
Yeah,
as how he handled business, that you probably,
yeah.
yeah, that's. But in the ring, you definitely could take a lot from him. And then Cody, dude, just like, nah, dude, it ain't gonna go down like that. Dude, I'm a huge Cody fan. They really killed me after last year at Mania, dude. They killed me. I'm like, dog. But I hope this year he finishes that story, dude. He deserves to. I was hoping The Rock would come back. I'm not gonna lie. I said it on this show on Friday night. Thought The Rock would come back. He'd probably end up eliminating Punk in the end, just to like dig it in more, because WWE is. Um, but it's a new WWE. Triple H, Paul Levesque did the post press conference. So Cody, Bailey, they were part of it also. But Triple H kind of was hammering that away about how he feels like today felt like a turn in the direction of where they want to go and stuff. And I mean, I felt like that throughout the night, honestly, like, whoa, this is different. This isn't really like, I mean, the returns from the TNA, debuts and returns from TNA, that was crazy. Yeah, man. I didn't feel like the men's Royal Rumble had like enough, like, oh, returns, but they had CM Punk, dude. It's pretty freaking big. Let's be real, right? So I don't know. A lot of people fell down with the 30th entry, Sami Zayn. He still got a pop. He's Sami Zayn. He gets the crowd going, but I feel like somebody, I don't know, like we expected somebody else.
You know, uh, fans of WWE always get upset about that, and they seem like they get let down a lot.
Right.
But it's WWE does something, and what I'm saying is WWE doesn't ever want to like acknowledge like when stuff on social media, like starts saying like The Rock, like the whole Rock thing
Yeah,
was from one little promo The Rock did.
but it was a hell of a
And
promo. Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, but it was just that WWE doesn't
You're
say
right. You're right. You're
anything
right.
else, and the fans are saying they take that and they make it into
A snowball.
yes, and that Rock is coming out to win the Royal Rumble, and he's going to challenge Reigns, and it's like, wow, you got all that from a guy who was an actor during the writer strike,
Right.
striking, not working. You got all that from there because of this promo. I love The Rock. Rock's one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, and I would have loved to see that, but I'm not gonna just start saying that stuff after that.
Yeah.
I didn't expect The Rock to be in the Rumble at all because he's The Rock. Like that, do you not see the contradiction? Because like The Rock is The Rock. He doesn't need to do a Rumble to get a title shot. He could just walk in and say, "I want the title shot," and everybody, and they go, "Okay, you're getting the title shot." And they could say this in front of the crowd, and the crowd will go, "Okay, he gets a title shot." And if you're watching on your TV, you're like, "Yeah, he's The Rock. He gets a title shot." He doesn't have to do anything to get the shot. He's The Rock.
Great point. Great point. No, you
Also,
definitely go ahead.
shout out to this. I don't know if you caught it. I know some people have been sharing it, but I caught it. The Cody's shout out to the Young Bucks and the Kenny Omega, the Elite at the end after winning.
Oh
He
no,
did
what
the
happened?
He did the Turkish wolf. If people don't know what that is, it's also the too sweet hands
Yeah.
gesture.
Okay.
He was up on the apron. He's up on the apron. The camera's looking down on him. The WrestleMania sign in the background. He looks at the Turkish wolf, the too sweet logo. He kisses it with his lips twice, makes a gun sign, and shoots the
Oh
WrestleMania logo. That's the WrestleMania. That's the shot of him like pointing at the WrestleMania logo. He
yeah.
did that for that. Like that is a huge shout out to Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, the Elite. Like even if it's just showing love to a couple of guys that he went on a crazy journey with,
Right.
that honestly, if we're being honest, and I'm not just saying this because I'm an AEW fan also, but they helped him get to the spot where he's at right now. Cody got to WWE and just shot up to another level. But the whole coming up in Ring of Honor together, New Japan, starting AEW, and just for him to give love to them in that little gesture when all the eyes were on him, I thought was a really nice thing. And honestly, like, good for Cody. Like, just like I think acknowledging everything and everyone in a big moment of his life, like that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. No, but if that's really what happened and I missed it, he just shot himself in the foot, dude. He's gonna lose at WrestleMania. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Hey, this is just proof that he's a sleeper cell for Tony Khan. He went
Yeah.
to WWE to destroy him from the inside. He injected a cancer to the WWE.
So what was this, Cody? And they showed the video. Oh, damn, what?
CM Punk's in on it also. AEW won the Royal Rumble. Those are two AEW originals in the finals of the men's Royal Rumble.
So you're telling me they did the old let's send the Wolf Pack, let's send Diesel and Razor down to
Yes.
WCW. You're telling me
I'm
they did
not
the old play?
saying I'm not saying the Monday night after Mania that Cody and CM Punk are gonna come out in outsider shirts and stuff like them, but they're gonna do it.
No, man, but overall, Royal dude, after the week they had, WWE had a crazy week. First, we talked about it last week. Netflix, right? WWE
Yeah,
Raw 2025. It's
insane.
live.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, it's live. And then the day or two goes by, and then the news drops about Vince, and wow, the crazy allegations, and
yeah.
that's probably a show all by itself, dude. We definitely talked about it last week, but
The,
so just with
the
that
Slim
alone,
Jim sponsorship
dude,
situation.
just with that
Real,
alone,
real faster. Just go.
go
Did
ahead.
you notice how much Slim Jim stuff was during the Royal Rumble, like on the apron? Imagine none of that was gonna be there.
Exactly. Yeah,
That is
exactly.
crazy.
Yeah. No, dude, and it's Slim Jim. It's WWE. It's like they're hand in hand to me, at least. I
Yeah,
think of it and I'm like snapping it, and it's Macho Man to me, dude. And that's why that ad where they throw back and he's, oh
yeah.
yeah, dude. It's just,
I eat 4 Slim Jims a day at work and stuff. Like I'm
dude,
probably not healthy, but
protein.
I kill those.
Nah, dude, but yeah, you. That's just that alone, crazy week, and then So Saturday night, we talked about it. The show must go on. That's show business, right? Yeah, good
Mm-hmm.
thing that he resigned and that's done with. And man, crazy, just crazy overall. But Fred, our other co-host, Fred mentioned the show must go on. So Saturday night, they went out there, dude, and they put on a hell of a Royal Rumble that, I'm not mad about investing money in at all. I hate when you invest money in either a pay-per-view or something you feel like it was a letdown. This was not a letdown. This was definitely something that I'm like, take my money. That's cool.
Really enjoyable. Really great job all around and stuff.
Yeah, dude. And that was Saturday night, but that wasn't the end of our Saturday night. Here at Sports Buds TV, we definitely spent some time with boxing, right? The original squared circle. No. But yeah, dude, we had a fight, Munguia versus Ryder, and we talked about it last week here, where this fight meant something because Ryder is the last, no, not the last, but I believe second to last opponent that Canelo Alvarez fought. And he wasn't able to knock him out. This guy had already 6 losses, I believe, on his record, and Canelo couldn't knock him out, couldn't get him out of there. Munguia, undefeated, definitely is able to, carry power well. So he's challenging Ryder here. And the thing was, well, there's rumors that Munguia and Canelo can get a fight going, but this would have been a test to see just how ready is Munguia for Ryder.
Yeah, where he measures up to him and stuff,
Exactly. So last week, I predicted, it'd probably end up being a decision fight. But I also mentioned that if Munguia wants to definitely make a statement and is serious about a Canelo fight, he has to get him out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So the fight goes on, dude, and Munguia did just that. And actually, he didn't wait too long. In the second round, he drops him, dude. And you're thinking, oh, okay, he's ready. And for that first half of the fight, he's just whooping on him. But Ryder's Ryder, dude, and he's scrappy. He's not going to just go out like that. And he's able to survive. It goes on into the 9th round. And then finally, because the ref wasn't stopping it, the corner was kind of like on the they had the white towel in their hand, but they hadn't thrown it. They just had it in their hand, dude. So fucking like everyone in the arena is like, dude, stop the fucking fight. Like he's getting his ass whooped. And you finally hear the ring bell just start ringing, dude. And they're like, dude, you can't do that. You got to stop it when you can. Like a fighter isn't just going to say, I give up. A fighter's going to try to fight no matter what, even if it's not what's best for them. They're just not in the right state of mind. They're thinking, I got to fight. You know what I mean? It's kind of like this. So as a referee, as a cornerman, you got to think for them, dude, in that situation. You have to, dude. If you really care about somebody, you're going to, you know what I mean? This getting punched in the face, it's for our entertainment, dude, but it's not healthy, dude. It's not healthy to just take, and you're not covering. You know, at least if you're defense, you're covering, that's different. But if you're just taking shots, dude, and when I say taking shots, look, let me bring this up. Let's see, got this image here. Look, check this out, dude. So Munguia just hitting this cat with these types of shots, dude. Where like it looks like he's bringing up his arm here, his left one is to get his fist up, but it's clearly not up in time, dude. His face is getting smashed.
No, I mean, dude, I've seen Rocky Four. Like you have to call fights, anyways. But yeah, like you gotta protect, the refs there, the corners there to protect the boxer. I mean, like somebody has to. There has to be a chain of something to protect the guy, because it's your livelihood. Like you can't.
He had been dropped like
boxers
3 or
have
4
died.
times.
Dude,
yeah, no, and I mentioned a fighter's instinct is to keep fighting, even if they're willing. When they say some of these cats, when they say they're willing to die on their shield, dude, I don't want to see that. But that's the mind space. That's the headspace that they're in. So you, as a fan, you got to be like, okay, stop this, dude. We don't, props, dude. You gave it your all, but you don't need to go any further, dude. Like you don't need to do that. So, but anyhow, Munguia does what he was. I mean, if he's really serious, like I said about the Canelo Alvarez fight, dude, Munguia needed to put on this type of performance. And it's kind of a big deal because Canelo a few years back had mentioned that he's not really interested in fighting another Mexican fighter because he feels like he represents Mexico. So that it wasn't really right in his mind to fight another Mexican fighter. Now he's gotten a lot of flack for that. Like, dude, David Benavidez is undefeated. He has the interim championship in your weight division. He's held it for like 2 years already. He's been that's the number one contender for your title. And you don't want to fight him because he's Mexican. So he's kind of had to walk that back a little bit. Like, no, I will fight another Mexican. Like, I never said I wouldn't. I don't feel like I should. Just trying to walk it back. So enter Ryder Munguia. 43 wins, I believe, with this last one now. Mexican fighter from TJ, from Tijuana, right? So my thought was like, if you have to fight a Mexican fighter just because people say you won't anymore, and you're not willing to fight David Benavidez, well, you have Jaime Munguia right here. And if you fight him on May 5th, that'd be a hell of a pay-per-view for the Mexican fan base in boxing and just for the boxing fans overall, dude. 2 Mexican fighters brawling it's kind of like what one of the matchups that the sport's built off of. You know what I mean? These kind of like, types of warriors going at it. So I figured after Saturday night, Royal Rumble, hell of a show. Munguia gets a great knockout, stoppage. And I'm thinking maybe we'll end up getting one of these fights in May. Canelo Alvarez finally fighting either Jaime Munguia or David Benavidez. You'd think so, right? But not so fast. Not so fast, my friend. News dropped earlier today that Canelo Alvarez is most likely going to be fighting Jermall Charlo and Terrence Bud Crawford in 2024. Meaning that it's probably going to be the May date and the September date. It's not official, but you would think that's probably where it's going to fall if it's 2 fights for this year. He would be bringing up Maul, which I think he fought a catchweight his last fight. And he was the 160 champion. So he's actually bringing him up, if we're being honest, a weight class. And Bud Crawford is the undisputed 147 champion. So he's bringing him up 2 or 3 weight classes, dude. So something's got to give, dude. We cannot continue to condone this or feel like, yeah, this is great for the sport, because it's not, man. Fight the number one contender in your division and stop ducking David Benavidez.
Yeah, it's being allowed by everybody involved, and it's a little like it's beyond like justification at this point. Like it really has like it's one of those things where it's like they literally are just ignoring it, hoping it goes away. That nobody talks about it anymore, and it's kind of like it's upsetting in a new way now. It's like honestly, it's actively disrespecting the fans.
Yep.
And I don't know, as a fan of boxing, how you support something that's disrespecting you. I will separate it to the fact that, like, if you don't want to watch a Canelo fight because of that, okay. But at the end of the day, these organizations and stuff are allowing it, and you're watching their product. Like, I mean, as messed up as it sounds, until people stop watching, it's not gonna stop. And that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying to stop watching, but it's like, well, if you're gonna enjoy all the other good boxing, well, you're gonna have to put up with this bullshit.
Yeah, man. And let's say he, for whatever reason, he feels like David doesn't deserve it, which is total BS. But let's say, fine, he's not going to get in the ring with him. Now, you're not willing to fight Jaime Munguia, who's already had a fight at 168. This last fight was at 168. He knocked out the guy that you couldn't knock out. Mexican versus Mexican on May 5th. Dude, you don't need, like, I guess not. He's not interested in that. He'd rather bring somebody up from another weight class. And then
I think he really wants to, like, keep that like title of like the best Mexican fighter, like,
which
only
is
his,
cool,
like,
but you gotta earn it. You can't just be.
You're right. But as long as he doesn't face another one, even if he loses, it's still his title. Like, he still has a big match card to play. Even if he loses a couple of titles, even if he loses a couple of matches, let's just say he loses Like he faces Crawford, loses Crawford, whatever. He has another match he loses for some nonsense. He could probably lose 2 matches and then fight your boy David, and still that would be a huge, because it'd be like, oh, finally gets it. Oh, the whole, and they'll sell it like he's. It seems like to me at least that he's like holding cards to play them later as like money grabs almost, and it's a little annoying. Like it's a little too obvious for me, and it's a little
Right.
too annoying because it's like
Yeah.
we're past that point. Like now was the point to use them, and he's not using them. And it's like, okay, like I put up with that crap for the other years because I figured by 2024 or 2023, realistically, because last year was frustrating, but I figured by now we'd be getting these payouts, these payoffs, and we're not. And that's the frustrating thing when it comes to Canelo.
Yeah, dude, it's extremely frustrating. Now, I'm not gonna, just because that's why it continues to be this way, because we just focus on him and what he's doing, and he feels like, oh, I've got the Mexican fan base, and I'm still the topic of discussion, so it runs through me. So I feel like we definitely have to start talking about the other fighters that are coming up. We're gonna see next month, February, mid-February. I don't have the date in front of me right now, but Usyk versus Fury for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. We haven't had an undisputed heavyweight champion in over 20 years, dude. So Canelo Alvarez, you can do what you want, dude, but that you're not going to be able to hold that as the face of boxing for too long, dude, if you're going to want to keep playing this que sí que no game. So yeah, dude, that's boxing. Those are the latest, the updates. Shout out to Jaime Munguia taking care of business. Shout out to Ryder, man. You're a warrior. Definitely weren't trying to, go out like that, but Jaime Munguia was just inevitable last Saturday night. We'll go ahead and move on, and we'll wrap things up, dude. We had Championship Sunday. And what a Championship Sunday, dude. Let me pull up some images here. We'll start with the AFC Championship game, dude. And you know what? Let me take off the banner so in case we're blocking something out here. There we go. So we can see the scores, here on this screen. We've got the final score was 17-10. The Chiefs, dude, they do what the Chiefs do, right? And now they're in the Super Bowl. The Ravens were close, man. There was so many close calls. The fumble at the 1 yard line, the interception into triple coverage, where we're going to all blame Lamar. And yeah, he was very short all day long. Like passes were short, way off. But it's likely, right? It's Isaiah Likely that he's throwing to in that end zone.
Yeah, when he lifts up his hand that he's
He
open
put up his hand,
when he's
dude. That's the
clearly
old Randy
not. There's a
Moss.
thing.
Go ahead, my bad.
Oh, that was bad. That's bad. Like, I mean, Lamar took like, you know what? It's funny because when I saw him go out on the sideline, he slammed his helmet. I told
Right.
the people I was watching the game with, I was like, he's mad because he threw into trip. Like he wanted that ball back.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and I think that's true. I think he even saw the safety coming, and he was as when he let it go, and he realized he wasn't open. But I think there now was a possibility that he slammed he slammed his helmet because he was like, why did this fucker tell me that he was open? Why did he stick his hand up like that? Like when there's like people there. Like I
Yeah,
trusted him.
no.
Like maybe he was frustrated that he trusted, Likely, and he's just like, why did I listen to him? Why did I listen? Like,
Yeah, dude. Well, he did the old Randy Moss, like, but hands up, you throw that ball. So
yeah.
But I'm also thinking back, dude, and I didn't watch it. I watched it right after. I didn't watch it again since, but I want to say he is open, dude. But Lamar threw that under, dude. It was short, and
It was late. Also, that's the bigger thing. It was a late throw. Like
yes,
he
he's
should have
open, but you
thrown it
gotta
right
throw it.
when his hand was up.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's open there, dude, and it's got to
Yeah.
go there. But and that these windows are a split second, dude. They're fucking a split second difference. But dude, it just felt like nothing went their way, dude. A fumble on the 1 yard line, and I'm saying dive for the end zone, and boom, drops the ball. It gets punched. It gets punched out.
Yeah, it was it's unfortunate some things don't go your way, bad breaks, but honestly, like got to be said, the Chiefs have been hot. The Chiefs have been hot this playoffs. They've looked different than they have in the regular season. Their defense looks legit. I told everybody I could tell that was placing bets on this game or making parlays for the weekend.
Yeah.
Put the under for the Chiefs um, Ravens game. It is going. These are the two best defenses in the league.
Yeah.
Like they are going to dominate, and they kind of did.
Yeah. Right. Right. Right.
17-10. Like I didn't know I was watching a game in 2001. Like what the
Yeah.
hell? Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Well, in the second
it's
half, there was only 3 points scored.
yeah, and I know like the weather wasn't great either, but still, like it was just it was definitely it felt really old school. And things didn't go the Ravens' way. They had a hell of a season. Lamar is still gonna win the MVP. I don't think that he's a bad quarterback for this loss. I just think that you know, you know, you can be great, but I mean, it doesn't mean anything really if you don't win. I'm not.
Yeah.
It's hard to judge Lamar, his legacy.
You know what? I couldn't help but feel as he's, like you said, throwing his helmet on the floor. I got like a flashback, dude, of watching like Peyton Manning throw a pick in the playoffs. And it's like, dude, this sucks. It's not your moment, dude, but hopefully you'll get that moment later. But this guy is, when it's all
He
said and done, he's going to go down as one of the greats in the game. And that Super Bowl, that really like tilts it one way or another, the way people think of you as like really one of the greats. You know what I mean? It's like, oh,
yeah.
but is he really one of the? So he's been injured other years. You feel like this year, okay, they're healthy enough, and he's going to be able to make it happen. And damn it, I feel like he did make it happen, dude. That fumble and the freaking, they didn't get the result they wanted, dude. They were hoping for.
Yeah, no, it's definitely rough. I would say to anybody who's being really critical of Lamar right now, I would say go ask yourself what you think about Dan Marino. Ask yourself what you
Right,
think about,
exactly.
you know, like somebody like early career of John Elway, or early career of Peyton Manning. Like,
Exactly.
look at that and then say, like, so pump the brakes a little bit, all right? Like, the guy is still one of the top quarterbacks. It's everybody should be ashamed of themselves, all the owners who didn't want to
Yeah.
pay him
Yep.
last offseason when it was all the talk about the offseason when he was trying to go. Remember, like, oh, nobody wants to like give up 2 first-round picks for him and stuff and pay him and all that. Like, Atlanta's out, everybody's out. Like, no, Lamar Jackson is a hell of a quarterback. There's only a handful better than him, most
Yeah, dude.
notably Kyler Murray. But I mean, that's about it. Like, honestly, like,
Yeah, dude.
he's still a hell of a quarterback, and
Yeah,
yeah,
he's an elite
everybody needs to
talent,
calm
dude.
down.
You mentioned Marino, you mentioned Elway, and then it's hard to like, Vic, dude. Like these are elite, talented QBs, dude. And it sucks if they don't, for some reason, end up being a champion. It's like, well, they weren't really all that good. Like, shut up. I would have loved to have this guy on my team. Stop.
Hey, what
But
doesn't what
yeah,
doesn't help real fast before we move on to any game?
yeah,
What doesn't help is he's facing a quarterback who arguably already is the second greatest
yeah,
quarterback in NFL
yeah,
history. Already, I would say. I think it's if he wins his next game, I'll say it like that. If he wins his next game, I think Patrick Mahomes is the second greatest quarterback in the NFL history.
JKZ. And I think that's why I couldn't help feeling like flashbacks to Peyton Manning and him like losing to Brady. And it's like, dude, you're an all-time great. You're just going up against the greatest, dude, the fucking greatest.
Yeah,
So that's hard, dude, because you're an all-time great, dude. You're not a bum. You're not a
and
scrub.
yeah, like that's why it is hard. And I know there was some radio shows I heard saying about is there pressure on Lamar today because he's facing Patrick Mahomes, and I thought the question was a little crazy. But after the game, I'm like, I think there might be something to that. I really do.
Yeah, dude. It was It was a tough one. I had the Ravens, if we're, keeping score at home. I had the Ravens on our show last Friday night. Our, co-host Fred had the Chiefs. So shout out to Fred getting that one right. And keep your head up, champ, to our boy Kenny, man. I know he's a Ravens fan. That wasn't an easy one to have to stomach. So you mentioned not wanting to really go after Lamar. Let's give him some grace. But there's somebody that I think definitely we have to be a bit critical of, dude. And let's bring that up here just to give you a better idea of what we're talking about. It would be our second game, dude, and it's the Detroit Lions taking on the San Francisco 49ers that don't even play in San Francisco, but that's neither here nor there. And the final score there, dude, was 31-34. The Niners.
Serge.
Yeah.
Serge, I just want to say this right now because before you give up any more stuff, I will answer the question you are going to inevitably answer, and I want you to know I've been thinking about it nonstop. The point where the Lions lost the game was when they don't kick the field goal to go up 17 points. It is right there. You can go up 3 possessions. The pressure that 49ers would have felt at that moment being down 3 possessions versus the good they would have felt holding you to 0 points in that scenario, that gap is so wide that a little kid in kindergarten doesn't need analytics to see that you kick the field goal and you get the 3 points. They win that game, they lose that game on one play only, right there. This is 100% on Campbell. This is 100% on him, and he knows it. He can live with that in his soul for the rest of his life.
Yeah, dude, and you answered without me even having to ask the question. But I mean, if we're gonna be critical of anyone, he has to take the criticism today, dude, because there's no effing reason. I won't even, I'm gonna be calm. I was really hoping Goff was gonna be able to do it for the Lions. When we started this football season on this show, I predicted the Lions were gonna go on a run. And I didn't know they were going to be, this close, but I felt like this was a different type of Lions team, dude. And yeah, granted, going for it on fourth is kind of their thing. That's what they do. But fuck what you do. Like, dude, take the freaking point. I'm a believer, dude. I'm a strong believer in taking the points. I get it. And I do believe that you go for 2 or you go for it on fourth when you absolutely have to. I don't think you should do it unless it's necessary. Because what I find happening more often than not, dude, is you're chasing those points that you fucking didn't get. So you mentioned one field goal when they can go up 70, right? That's one field goal, dude. They also had an opportunity on the other side of the fucking field. That's another field goal. What, field goals aren't good enough anymore? One of them ties the fucking game, dude. I mean, gives you the lead, dude. What?
The second one
ties it.
The second one, I'm more understanding of, I guess, because at that point you're already in, you've already made your bed. Now,
But that
obviously it cost them, obviously.
That goes back to my point. You're chasing the fucking points that you gave up. So that's why don't fucking go unless you absolutely have to. It's necessary because, I got to go up 3 or I got to go up. Unless it wasn't necessary for him to go for it on that fucking possession.
Serge, I've thought about this nonstop. The only thing that makes sense to me is that they were playing a game that was on those Madden rules where if you go up by 21 points, they can offer mercy and the game's over, or they can quit. That's the only logical way, because that's the only way you go for it. Because if I get a touchdown, we win the game. It's over.
Right.
Because it's 21 skunk. I know they got points, but the 21-point gap.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that makes sense because he did it, and then it just starts to implode. You give momentum. The 49ers are still a hell of a good team. Let's not just pretend that
the turnover, dude.
Yep. It's just, and that's how it goes. It snowballs. You gave up momentum. You literally, like I said, that gap between being up 3 possessions and getting 0 points, the 49ers would have felt was so massive. You saw it right there, the swing. momentum gets talked a lot about games, and how much of it is real, how much of it is not. It is truly like the argument can be made either way. There is no argument. But today, momentum people out there are
Right.
taking a victory lap. The court case came out and it might be overruled, but momentum right now in sports is the greatest thing in sports. The
Dude.
debate is over as of today.
And momentum is definitely something that you can like watch a game and feel like, oh, it's swinging one way, but there's no freaking way to plan for it. Like, okay, and
Yeah,
in this quarter,
how do you plan
exactly,
for a feeling like that, like of happening,
exactly,
of like when you're fighting, your body's at its weakest because of all this energy spent, and you just got the life sucked out of you. And now think
dude.
about the other side, just got the life kicked into them. They just got like, whoa, they just feel pumped. That swing is crazy
Yep,
because it's
and
not just you feeling low, it's also your opponents now are on a high. Like,
exactly, exactly.
yeah,
The
like
endorphins or whatever you want to call
yeah.
it, dude. It's fucking biology. Like,
Dude, if I was a player on the Lions team when that happened, I've been like, man, grab me some smelling salts, like a
yeah,
bunch. Like,
dude.
I need something right now because we need this bad.
Man, yeah, and that's I think what I was upset with. I get that that's their this is how we roll. We go for it, but
Mhm.
that may work in the regular season where it's. But we're talking about win or go home, dude. Win or go home. Take the freaking points. Like, don't try to be like I'm gonna get cute with it.
Dude,
Like,
I've never been an NFL player, coach, worked in the NFL
right, same.
at all. I just want to make that clear when I say this so people understand what I mean. I have a pretty good knowledge of football. I studied a lot, like I watch a lot. I'm really invested in it.
Right. You won a
But
few fantasy
I
football leagues. Go on, go on. Don't be
yeah,
so
like
modest.
I get the game, but only to the level of a fan. Like,
Right.
like to what I've known. I feel like I'm on the high end of that.
Yeah.
I will not compare myself. I am nowhere near anybody who works in the NFL.
Right.
Like
Right.
that's some real stuff. There's a lot that goes in there. I'm not trying to say like
Yeah.
I'm at that level. And I want that gap to be known because I I know that going up 3 possessions is the one of the biggest things you can do in a football game. And this guy didn't know that and
Yeah.
thought going for it would be better. He put points instead of possession. What does the points mean though?
Mm-hmm.
6 points for a touchdown is an arbitrary number just given to
Yeah.
it. It's what it stands for. It stands for another team has to go do what you just did one time. Now you need to make them score 3 times. That is hard. And at the same time, they have to score 3 times
And
and you
stop
can't
you.
score at all.
Yeah.
Like, do you understand the odds of that happening? And you
Exactly.
threw it away. My guy, that nobody had to tell you that going for it. Yes, I understand the points, the 21 points, but do you understand the difference between 21 points and 17 points
Mm-hmm.
is so much smaller than the gap between 17 points and 14 points.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's analytics, that's math. That's something you have to see, and it's not big though. That's like elementary school in the NFL. Like you should know that 3 possessions is the key, and let's get the 3 possessions right here. I'm sorry, like I said, it's hard on me because it's like so
No, but you're
obvious.
right, dude. Because the three possessions, yeah, you want that, and you're thinking, okay, well, if I'm aggressive here, I'm going to get it. But you got to also have in the, like you said, we're not freaking NFL assistant coaches, let alone the head coach. But you got to think, the other side of this coin is if I don't get it, it's two possessions, but they're going to be driving.
Yeah, so it might become one, and now we have
Exactly.
pressure. So we went from 3 possession game to a 1 possession game.
Yep. So in the
Damn,
end,
we might be NFL guys and stuff. You know what, guys? You know what? We do work for the NFL. That's some real shit right there.
yeah,
You're welcome.
might as well, dude. Might as well. I mean, it. Now you know what? I love my
We're
guy,
pretty much
and
just doing basic math, but it's awesome.
I'll be honest, dude. I love my guy, and he's the man. But I've always kind of deep inside always thought, damn, Sean McVay is really living the life. He's like, I'm going to be 35 this year. He's like, what, 35, 36, dude? I'm just like, damn, dude.
I think he's 37, actually. I think I saw he just had a birthday.
Dude, it's just like a year or two late, dude. I was almost there, dude. Could have been me.
It should have been me.
For real, dude. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. What is here, what is there, is the following, dude. We now have the Super Bowl set, dude. We have the matchup. It's a rematch, right? And you don't have to give me a prediction right now, but
Serge.
Go ahead.
I won't do no prediction, but you know how bummed out I was because I had this whole awesome pitch about how the first game of the year was Lions versus Kansas City, and it could have been the last game of the year.
Yeah.
Like, it was a story beautiful, and this Dan Campbell messed it all up.
Dude.
Anyways, okay, I'm done.
Nah, man. I mean,
this should be a good matchup.
And you know what? It's even he knows he effed up, dude. He's like, you know what? I would do it the same. He knows he effed up, but then he even says it in his post conference. It's gonna be twice as hard to get here next year. You damn right, dude.
Yeah.
You take the freaking points. All right, neither here nor there. We're moving on, dude. We're moving on.
But the teams that are there, you know, like
yes,
a rematch. You know, I like that. I like how people are bringing up the rematch. I didn't even think about that, to be honest with you.
Fred was big on it.
I didn't think about it one moment until people started to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, like that gave me a little bit more something to look at to the Super Bowl. And I'm thankful because other than that, I mean, Mahomes' chance at legacy, we were to mention that earlier. If he wins this Super Bowl, I don't think there's any question that he's the second best quarterback of all time. I think if he wins this Super Bowl, Serge, real fast, he is the second greatest quarterback of all time, I believe. I believe Travis Kelce retires, and I believe there's at least 50-50 Andy Reid retires.
Wow.
The Bengals are over. I mean, Bengals. The Chiefs are over as we know it if they win the Super Bowl.
You know what? I'm with you on the Kelce one. I feel like, you know, his career's winding down.
His brother's out of the league. They are going to retire real fast. I just want to pitch this because it might have been, you might have heard it, so I want to say it.
Go ahead.
They take their podcast and they do a Manning cast for like Amazon or
there you go.
Yahoo or something, like a subscription thing, Peacock maybe. I don't know. They can do one. ESPN, maybe even, fuck it, I don't care. Whoever they do it for, but them just doing their podcast, but watching the game like how the Mannings do. Because it would be different, but it would be good. And I would watch that. I watch the Mannings every so often, and I can watch them in a little bits, you know? But I think I could watch the Kelceys a lot more doing their show.
Yeah, no, I get it, dude. And they're definitely successful with, you know, what they've got going on. Like the Travis one, I can see it, dude. He's been in the league for a minute, and that guy plays very physical, dude. The tight end's a physical position. You know, you're blocking, you're going in route. Yeah, just overall a physical position that they both play, right? Both brothers, one being the center, the other tight end.
Did you see
go ahead, yeah.
Just real fast, you talked about tight ends. Did you see the Julian Edelman and talking about Gronk, talking about how nobody plays tight end anymore? That they're all H-backs, and he's like, because they all line out like
right.
And the receiver, like, they're not really lined up with the tackle blocking guys anymore. Like Gronk pretty much just calling everybody's no longer a tight end in the NFL. I just thought that was funny.
Gronk's gonna Gronk. No, I mean Gronk's one of the greats too, dude. And Travis, like, if I'm being honest and we're talking tight ends, dude, I thought the greatest tight end at one point was Tony Gonzalez, dude. And then he came and went. And these guys that have, you know, taken over, and Antonio Gates, you know, there's just been so many great tight ends, dude.
Yeah, you could talk Kevin Winslow in the 80s. Then it was Gonzalez. Gates has Shannon Sharp was. I don't know if I'd ever say Shannon Sharp was the greatest tight end. You know, to be honest, he's one of the greats, definitely. But like, I don't know if I'd ever said he was the greatest. There, I think Antonio. There was a time I would say Antonio Gates was the best tight end in the NFL.
Yeah, dude. So. I mean, for when you go down, like, this guy's gonna probably be one of the greats.
Sorry, I will go on and tell you the greatest tight end of every era.
Dude, it's hard, man. It's hard because there's been so many good ones. So Gronk
Yeah.
saying what he's saying, I'm not mad
But
at
you
him.
think Andy Reid? You think Andy Reid doesn't go? You don't think?
Well, that's the one that when you mentioned that one, dude, I didn't even think about Andy Reid leaving. But if we're talking about somebody who's closer to the end, than the beginning, it's gotta be Andy, dude. So, damn,
I'm gonna say this
he
though.
dropped the bomb.
I'm gonna say that this playoffs, the frozen mustache,
Yeah,
I think that helps him not retire. I think he
yeah,
thinks that's some cool
right.
shit, and he's like, I got it. Like I'm out here, like in the fucking elements. Like
Was
I'm
there
in
a
the
picture
shit.
going around of him and Taylor like pointing at each other yesterday? Like, you
Yeah,
did it. No, you did. Like,
yeah.
dude, he's loving
Like
it.
like he's over here, like looking like cool with Taylor Swift. I mean, like Andy
Right.
Reid is one of the greatest coaches of all time, but that's
Yeah,
Taylor Swift, dog. Like, come on,
yeah,
like you living the life.
yeah, dude. And then we got to look at the other side of the coin. I mean, San Francisco, dude, that team is stacked. That team, I mean,
Oh,
you've got players on there that got their hearts broken by this same Chiefs,
a
Patrick Mahomes.
thousand, 1,000%, 1,000%. They beat the Eagles with Brock Purdy last year.
Yeah.
I'm cool with Brock Purdy. He's cool. Like he's legit. I'm not saying he's great and stuff, but he's a difference maker, you know.
I'm really glad you
And
brought up Purdy, dude, because we could talk about so many matchups.
yeah,
Debo, we could talk about Cal. Dude, what I'm really interested in seeing how this plays out is Steve Spagnuolo and the rush that he's gonna bring him, dude. And I want to see how
oh
Purdy handles that, dude. I want to see how he
yeah.
handles it.
The dude took on Brady. He think he's
Dude,
worried
we
about
saw him
Purdy.
do it to Brady in '07.
Yeah, like he knows what he's doing. All right.
He did it to, was it these nine? I think he did it to the Niners, dude, with freaking Ford in the gang. Like pass rush, dude.
He's gonna
It's so
he's gonna
good,
go
dude.
shake his hand like at all the pregame stuff, like before the game, like when the week, like before,
Right,
like when
right.
they're doing the Pro Bowl and their teams are there. Maybe I don't know what. When he sees them, that's somewhere.
Yeah,
He's gonna go and shake his hand and go up and is like, "I took care of Brady. You think I'm worried about your
yeah,
little punk
right.
ass?" And he just let go of the handshake. It's like what? It's like, yeah, that would send a message.
I thought up the game plan to stop the undefeated Patriots with Tom Brady. You think I'm, dude?
Uh,
That's what I'm looking forward to. Now, it may also be somewhat of my weird fandom, my biasness that Steve Spagnuolo once in a different time, a different lifetime, was the head coach of the St. Louis Rams. And
how how
that
what
guy's
how were you guys back then?
nah, well, that's not here nor there, dude. That's not here nor there.
Right now,
But
better head coach for the Rams, Jeff Fisher or Steve Spagnuolo?
oh, dude, but it's tough, dude, because I'm not the type of fan that'll shit on these coaches, dude. Because I actually buy in, dude. I drink the Kool-Aid, so I'm like, nah, dude, it wasn't our year. I think of it that way. I never think of it as like, oh, this will. I mean, eventually you're like, this will get him out of here. But for a while, I drink that Kool-Aid, dude. I'm like, nah, we're gonna go all the way. And then when it doesn't happen, well, it wasn't our year. But
Yeah.
Scott Linehan, Steve Spagnuolo, even Bones when he freaking was interim coach, and even Jeff Fisher. Why not, dude? But they're neither here nor there, dude. Spagnuolo, he's in the Super Bowl. He's gonna have to come up with a crazy game plan to stop Kittle, Debo, Purdy, and we didn't even talk about CMC, dude. I hope he's all right, dude. He took a nasty, nasty hit, face
When is
first, head
on it?
first.
My
That was
bad.
ugly. Yeah,
His
dude.
head
That
one was bad when he fell. Like I saw
exactly.
that. He took a couple of bumps, man. Like, but I mean, the dude's playing for a Super Bowl, man. He go all out. You have to.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So you don't have to give me a prediction right now. I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire. If you feel like you maybe are, fancying a
I
pick,
I
go
got.
ahead, make it.
You want a prediction?
If you
My
got it. If you don't,
prediction:
no worries.
pain.
Pain for one team.
But yeah,
Well, they got to do it, man. There's one fan out there. She really deserves it. I hope they do it for Taylor Swift, dude. I hope the Chiefs are able to get it together and win for good old Tay Tay.
go for her. She's gotten like unnecessary hate. Not like horrible. I don't think it's nearly as bad as what it has been. I'll say like this real quick, just because I just said that the pictures
Yeah.
were like kind of messed up. Like I mean, Like you don't like. I mean, that's fake, but still, like you don't have to like do that shit. Like, I mean, just let her do her thing. Like, she's just like fucking like supporting
Right.
her man. And at the end of the day, like, I wish like my chick like one day like supports me like that too. You know, that's fucking down and stuff. And like, she's a big deal. Like, I'm an NFL fan. I don't listen to her music. I know some songs. All right, she's all right. You know, yeah, I got a couple of albums saved on my iTunes and stuff like that. But you know, who cares? But for
Nah,
real,
dude.
bro,
Nah,
like
she's
she's a
cool,
big
dude.
deal. And like I know as an NFL guy, as a guy who really likes sports, like I think like if you're still after everything like that, like making a big deal about it, like come on, get over it. Like you're too much. Like you're doing way too much, people.
Yeah.
Like let her enjoy it, let her support her man. Let them make a big deal about it because she is a big deal. Like who cares, you know? Like I was all cool with all the Eminem stuff, like that they
Right.
were posting
Exactly.
the last couple
Yeah.
of days. Like it's cool. Like he's a big fan. Like he supports it. Like let him support his stuff. She's supporting her man. Like let it be done. Like who cares? Like it's
Yeah,
fun.
dude.
I
No,
hope they
man.
do a lot of stuff. I hope she has like a badass like fucking gear too. Like something dissing the other team. Like she doesn't know that she's dissing. Like she messes up. That'd be funny.
Nah, dude. I've always been a fan of hers. Like we're graduating high school and she's making it. She's starting to make it big, you know. So like now fast forward and it's like, damn, she's really come a
Like
long way.
like we all made it when she made it, right?
Right, dude. So yeah, man. I'm no hate here. One thing, if we're gonna criticize anything, is anytime Kelsey does something cool, play it, put her on there. But they'll do it sometimes when it's not even Kelsey, you know, or at least be like, oh, Kelsey put a block here, and that's why we're good. But like some other players score the touchdown, and then they right away zoom into Taylor, and I'm like, guys, or at least be like, well, Kelsey helped out with the block here, and you know, but then I
Oh
get why people
well,
are like, why do they put her all the time? Like, okay, I get where you're coming from. I'm not mad at it.
yeah.
I get why they
I think it's also
come
though
up in arms.
like you put if you're gonna put a reaction because it's like almost on the time where you put a fan reaction.
Yeah,
It's just I think the real losers on this is the fans. The fans aren't coming out on TV as much. I don't think they're
right.
cutting out TV time. I don't think they're cutting from the
No,
guys celebrating. I think the cuts that you're actually losing are the ones to the fans, like cheering and stuff. Because you see, I was watching the games and I noticed that it was like a lot I saw a lot more like fan cuts in the
yeah,
49er game and Lions game than I did in the other one.
yeah,
So I think they're just cutting away to her instead of to the fans. Which I mean, she's a fan, so you're getting a reaction, you know.
exactly. No, yeah, dude. And
I
I
was
think over.
disgusted with all the Jason Kelsey the other day though. That was a little. No, I'm just joking.
Put them away, sir. Nah, man. But I think if there is something to, because like I'm not gonna hit on her just because I'm actually a fan of her, so I'm not hitting on her. But if there's something to the fact that the younger fans, like I'm talking about, like the kids that are coming up and they like look up to her, if they're actually like, oh, I'm invested in the sport now because she's dating this guy, I'm not mad at that, dude. If some daughter is asking her father now, like, oh, where does Taylor's boyfriend line up? What does he play? And they're actually getting into the sport because of it. What is so wrong with that, dude?
Nothing. But I have to mention this because it's a crazy theory.
Yeah,
Just because they make jokes about this stuff.
right.
Um, how would you feel though if you found out this was all fake relationship, all
Oh
paid
yeah,
for by
yeah,
the
yeah,
NFL and like
yeah,
stuff
yeah, yeah.
just for
Right,
like
right.
publicity?
Dude, and because I told you, I actually have a very soft spot for Taylor, dude. So like when this when this like all came out, I'm like, dude, he this better not be something, because like I could see Travis maybe. I don't think I could ever see Taylor doing something like that, dude. Like legit just fucking hyping people up for the fuck of it. Um, but if it came out that it was, dude, I mean, she's
What if
gotta.
it was what if okay, so I'll make it a wrinkle in there for it's her production company is doing it all. Like she's starting out of like a thing like that, so it's gonna be her big sell that she can do like a reality thing in the middle in front of everybody and still be able to do it.
You know what? You're probably asking the wrong guy, dude. Because like in my eyes, the girl can do no wrong, dude. So like,
I mean, I don't think she would be honestly if this is all fake. I just want to say just because I want to have the first take on it in case it
right,
really
right,
does
right.
happen. If it really is fake, I don't care. Like, good for her. Like, I don't take it
Yeah,
for her. Like, I don't think she gets any heat. Like, she's been in movies before, right? She did a movie, right?
yeah.
Not yet.
No, yeah.
I don't
I
know.
remember
Like,
she
now I'm
did the
saying a huge
Valentine movie
role.
or whatever.
Okay, yeah, like a little thing like that. Yeah, like she's showing her range now. Like she can actually like do some real stuff. Like good for her. Like honestly, like like that's how I'd see it. I'd be disgusted with the NFL, but I mean that's just different.
Yeah, dude. And honestly, when like I'm telling you, a few months back when it starts coming out and all this, I'm like, dude, it better not be some sort of. But then Taylor's not the type that I don't feel like she'd be. She's got so many other things to be worried about, dude. To be going to a game every week, dude. Honestly, I feel like. Now I may be wrong.
Honestly,
Maybe it works out for her.
honestly, and like I mean, like I say this with a perfect streak of heterosexuality.
Right.
Like Travis Kelce's like can be a good looking dude too. Like she ain't doing bad for herself
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe that's her like type, So like if that is like, well, I mean, Travis Kelsey like fucking hits a home run for so good for her too.
Yeah, dude.
Like
And that's what I mean because like I'm telling you, I'm a fan of hers. So if she looks happy and she's happy, dude, then as a freaking fan, I'm happy for her, dude. And Travis
uh,
Kelsey's a hell of a fucking player, dude, in the NFL.
I'll Rushmore of tight ends.
Dude, so it's like, why am I supposed to like him? I'm telling you, the only reason I do is when someone else scores a touchdown and they're panning out to her right away. Now you made a point. They're panning out to fans and she's considered a fan. So that part of it makes sense. But something's got to give, dude. Super Bowl Sunday. The 49ers.
Should be a good one, man.
The
Should be a good one.
Chiefs. I hope Taylor Swift, they do it for her, dude.
Yeah.
Nah, man, but a hell of a show. Look, we just went about an hour and a half almost, dude. So a good show there. Don't forget, follow us on social media. We're your guys at Sports Buds TV. My name is Serge. That's my guy, JKZ. What you got for them, Jay, before we wrap up?
No, not much, man. Just shooting another great show, man.
Yes, sir.
Great
Yes, sir.
here. Looking forward to the next one, my guy.
Yeah, and this format may work better for us where we put out a show on a Friday night, before the weekend. And then I'm kind of liking this Monday recap. So we'll see just how that works out. But yeah, man, follow us on social media, Sports Buds TV everywhere on social. But thank you all for listening. Y'all be good. Later, bro.
Later, man.